This is Columbus Concerns, a public affairs presentation of North American Broadcasting. Here's your host, Mark News.
And good morning and welcome to Columbus Concerns this week. I am Mark News in our studios and we're so glad you joined us this morning. We're going to talk about several subjects, but we're going to start off talking about this year's flu shots and how important it is that you get your flu shot. We have a representative from Kroger here with us today. We're talking today with Doc Lamberjack. He is a pharmacy manager with Kroger. Which store?
On Chambers Road in Grandview.
We're talking today about the flu shots. The new ones are out.
Yes.
They are available. Tell us about it.
So the types we carry are a 4-strain vaccine, which is called the quadrivalent, and then we have a high-dose vaccine for age 65 and above. Now, that one only has 3 strains in it, but the key is that it has 4 times the amount of antigens in there. So that way the people age 65 and above that typically have a weaker immune system, they can build the proper immune response.
It used to be in the old days that the flu vaccine was just for people 65 and over. I remember when they were the only ones recommended to get it. Who is recommended now to get a flu shot?
So that's a very good question. The CDC recommends everyone over the age of 6 months to get an annual flu vaccine, unless they are allergic to one of the components to it.
I know in the past, sometimes the flu vaccines, it's kind of a guess. Mm-hmm. They decide which one they think's gonna hit, and that's what they protect against. What about this year? What do we know?
Well, it is still a guess, but they think they guessed better than they have the last couple of years. So it was a really bad winter in Australia this year. And so from my understanding, 3 of the 4 components to this year's vaccine were the predominant viruses that we're seeing there. So sort of how it moves around the globe, they based it off of that this year.
The vaccine, obviously, most people get a shot. There
Yes.
used to be a nasal spray and things like that. Is that still available, or is that something?
It was taken off the market for a couple years. It is available now. None of the Kroger stores are carrying it. So what I just usually recommend people, if they just go to flumist.com, they can input their zip code, and it should list the providers in the area that are carrying it.
Doc Lamberjack is here. He's from the Kroger Pharmacy. We're talking about this year's flu shots. Obviously, it's a very safe thing to do to get a flu shot. Most people, if any, do they have any side effects ever?
So the side effects we typically see, obviously, is the arm soreness from the injection site. Some people do develop a slight fever or headache for the first 24 hours, maybe some chills. That's their body recognizing the virus and starting to build antibodies to it. So you cannot get the flu from the flu vaccine. That is a myth out there that some people say that they'll get the flu from it, but that is totally false. And
tell us a little bit about the cost and how you go about getting one at Kroger.
Very good. So the cost is either $40 or $60 based on what you get. But the great thing is that probably 99% of insurances, because it's preventative health care, there's no copay at all. As far as getting your vaccine at all Kroger stores, there's no appointment necessary. You can just walk in. And then new this year, you can log into your Kroger account online. You can actually fill out the questionnaire ahead of time, answer the questions. Once you get to the pharmacy, we just print it off and you just sign it and then it's ready to go. So it'll save you 5 minutes or so of paperwork if you do it online ahead of time.
Obviously, bring your insurance card.
Of course, bring your insurance card.
Anything else you need?
Typically, what I like to remind people, because it's going to be starting to get cold here, and we see people come in with sweatshirts and sweaters on, wear a loose clothing or a short sleeve shirt. It makes it much easier for the pharmacist to administer the vaccine.
Doc, what about those who are on Medicare or Medicaid?
So Medicare and Medicaid, it's always covered 100%, no copays whatsoever.
So all you have to do is head to the Kroger Pharmacy and maybe check in online, as you said, ahead of time and get your flu shot this year. Pretty convenient, too. Easy way to do it.
Very convenient. I hear that all the time from people that they don't have to travel to their doctor's office. They're in there shopping for their groceries that week anyways, so it's easy for them to just get that and then go do their shopping.
And obviously you have trained personnel available to do this.
Yes, so all the pharmacists are trained. We have student pharmacists that rotate through, and they are all trained during their first year of pharmacy school, and so it's always a licensed vaccinator.
Doc Lamberjack is here with the Kroger Pharmacy telling us about this year's flu shots. Doc, thanks for stopping by again.
Thanks for having me.
And that's the latest on the flu shot this year, the 2019 version. Once again, you can go to the website that Kroger has and just check in online before you go to get your flu shot this year. We're going to talk about strategies for a good job interview coming up next on Columbus Concerns. We're glad you joined us today. Stick with us.
Has your child swallowed your medicine, your laundry detergent, your nail polish remover? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you inhaled paint thinner, glue, pesticides? Call the Poison Helpline. Have a question about a dose, a fume, something your kid just drank? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Shortness of breath, patient's confused, temp 102.
He just had an infection. What's going on?
He's becoming septic.
Antibiotics started. Bed ready, let's move him.
Infections can lead to a deadly chain reaction in your body called sepsis. Very quickly, sepsis can cause tissue damage, organ failure, and even death. If you know the risks, can spot the symptoms, and act fast, then you can get ahead of sepsis. Learn more at cdc.gov/sepsis.
Some say e-cigarettes aren't dangerous.
But science shows nicotine can harm teens' developing brains.
No matter how they're exposed.
Let's do an experiment to find out.
Here's a teen who won't be using e-cigarettes.
Now we need one willing to risk their brain development.
Anyone care to volunteer your kid?
Anyone?
Your kids are not an experiment. Protect them from e-cigarettes.
Opiates has taken everything and everyone I've ever loved away from me. Everything.
I blew my ankle out and I got prescribed pain pills by my doctor.
If making my detox public is going to help somebody, I'm all for it. I just wish I would have had a warning.
Opioid dependence can happen after just 5 days. Know the truth, spread the truth. A message from Truth, the Ad Council, and ONDCP.
And welcome back to Columbus Concerns, a public affairs presentation of North American Broadcasting. I'm Mark News. Thanks so much for joining us today. One of our friends on the program who's been here many times is Dr. Carol Van Tresca. She is the Executive Director of Employment for Seniors in Columbus. They help older people get jobs, and she has some really good tips today on job search and how you go about finding a new job in this new day and age where you can't always talk to people. She says one of the best ways is to attend a job fair. They come up pretty often around the central Ohio area. So some tips today on job searches from Carol Van Tresca, who is head of Employment for Seniors. Let's welcome in the Executive Director of Employment for Seniors, Dr. Carol Van Tresca. And Carol, so nice to have you back on the program.
Good morning, Mark. Thank you. I love coming over here to talk to you and all of your listeners. And
for those who don't know, tell us who is Employment for Seniors and what do you do?
We are an independent nonprofit here in Central Ohio. We're actually celebrating our 45th year in the community. Our goal is to help individuals, mature job seekers who are 50 years of age and older in their job search, and to work with Employment for Seniors and to register with us. The only requirement is to be 50, living in either Franklin County or a surrounding county. We have you come into our office, find out what your issues are, what you're looking for in your job search, and then help you connect with the wonderful employers that we work with here in the community.
And let's say you just want to work part-time, or maybe you want to work full-time. Can you help both people out?
Yes, and our goal to help individuals matches our goal to help employers in Columbus. And what we're trying to do is to find those great matches regardless of the background of the individual and regardless of the type of job. So we post full-time jobs with benefits. We have jobs that are part-time, seasonal, temporary positions, fun positions that are just short term. We even do jobs that are more of a 1099 type of position, but it's all with local employers. And last year, we actually posted over 1,300 jobs on our website.
And I know that you have a new location this year.
Yes, it's wonderful. We've moved down the street. We're still in Whitehall. We're now at 4300 East Broad in the First Commonwealth Bank Building, which is just 3 buildings west of Yearling Road on the north side of Broad.
Now, I think it's kind of fascinating because when you do take on a new client, a new person that's looking for a job, you don't just say, well, here's some jobs and this is sort of in your part of town or whatever. You actually sit down with these people and go over what their goals are.
Exactly. And two, we are so fortunate in Central Ohio to have wonderful resources for individuals who are job hunting that are for the most part either free or very low cost. So part of our role really is not just helping an individual become the best possible candidate they can be, but there could be resources and services they need that we don't provide, and we'll get them in contact with the other agencies. So we have great working relationships with all of the other groups in Central Ohio. But we really want to make sure that an individual is prepared. The job search process has changed dramatically in the past 10 years. And it's nothing like what we started with when we started our careers 30, 40 years ago. The big joke is you used to walk down the street, walk in the door, fill out an application, shake somebody's hand, and get a job the next day. Well, that does not happen. So what we're really trying to do is to help people understand this is what employers expect today. This is what you need to do to find a job, even if it's this quote unquote little part-time job. You need to be prepared because you are in competition with hundreds and hundreds of other people. So do it right and be happy with the end result. As I mentioned, we posted over 1,300 jobs last year. We registered over 800 people. We only know if somebody got a job if they report back to us. But we heard from 244 clients they found work last year. That's one for every day our office was open for business. So I think that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. And employment for seniors, again, located at 4300 East Broad Street in the First Commonwealth Bank Building. Some people have worked at the same job for many, many years, and they may think of their main job, but they probably have learned skills that they don't even think about, and that's going to be important to tell a prospective employer.
Exactly, and that's part of that preparation step. You really want to think about all of the bits and pieces and all of the successes and accomplishments you've had and the types of skills you use to reach those. It may be in a working situation. It could be in a volunteer situation. How many folks have been working with their kids' schools or sports teams? Lots and lots of different traits and skills that you can pull out of that. One thing that I wanted to mention is that employers always ask about whether our clients are good at technology. And I always tell them, baby boomers invented technology. So yes, we can do this. That doesn't mean that we don't need to keep our skills up to date.
Right.
But we want to identify that we are capable of doing things, and not just because it's self-taught that it's not important. So those are the kinds of things that you really want to pinpoint in your research getting ready for your job fair.
You talked about resume a little bit, and I know you can help people when it comes to strategies on resumes. What is the current strategy? You hear all types of things. You'll hear people say, well, put everything you've done in it because they really need to know, or just make sure it's only one page, or geez, don't put the date you graduated in because then they'll tell them how old you are. I mean, that kind of stuff. What's the strategy today?
Two things to always remember about a resume. A resume highlights your professional skills. Mm-hmm. And it reviews your successes, the value you bring to the table. It should never go back more 10, maybe 15 years. You just don't want to go back too far. And the idea isn't that your previous skills aren't important and those jobs aren't accomplishments, but the idea is that you want to make sure that an employer sees the skills you can use well today in today's market.
Okay.
And you want to be able to show that employer that you can do the job day one. An employer gives you 7 seconds. That's about the top third of the first page of your resume.
Wow.
And so in that top third, you have a review of your professional skills that match the job you're applying for. So it's all based on accomplishments, value, and the success you've had. It's not a ticker list of tasks. A resume is a marketing piece, so always think of it as it's a brochure about your skills.
Should they always follow up afterwards?
Oh, absolutely. It's important while you're talking to those employers that you get some kind of contact information so that you can follow up with them afterwards. So when you're going into that job fair, and make sure you are dressed for success. I can't stress that enough, that you want to go looking like you are ready to be there. Have copies of your resume, credentials if that's necessary in your type of position that you're looking for, a pen and paper to take notes, some type of a portfolio. You want to be able to speak clearly and concisely. I always tell clients, don't wear out your welcome. Don't stand there and talk, particularly if there's a line of people behind you. Keep moving through. You can always go back to an employer again, and you want to thank them. Then afterwards, you want to do your follow-up. Send a thank you immediately within 24 hours. It can be an email. It can be in writing. It can be both. So take advantage of getting in touch with them. Then you want to make sure in those follow-ups that they understand, yes, you are really interested. Yes, you've learned something from that connection with them, and that you are truly ready to do the job they want. You can follow up twice, maybe 3 times. After that, it's probably not worth it.
Our guest on the program has been Dr. Carol Van Tresca, who was giving us some good tips on job fairs and how to get a job. And, of course, Doc Lamberjack was also here from the Kroger Pharmacy, giving us tips on the 2019 flu vaccine. And we hope to see you again next week for another edition of Columbus Concerns.
Thanks for listening to Columbus Concerns, a public affairs presentation of North American Broadcasting. You can send questions or comments about today's show to Columbus Concerns in care of this station, 1458 Dublin Road, Columbus 43215. Or email us at columbusconcerns@napcomedia.com.
Fox on Film.
I'm Mike Piazza.
Murray, one small thing.
Yeah.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
The runaway child at the box office this weekend, Warner Brothers' Joker, starring Joaquin Phoenix. Joker racked up over $93 million across 4,374 screens, topping the previous year's October record holder, Spider-Man spin-off Venom. Globally, Joker pulled in $234 million. Taking a far distant second-place finish.
Here's Ralph. This is you and your parents. Aw, you have your mother's eyes.
The more family-oriented Abominable brought in $12 million in its second week on the screens. The final 3 slots, third place, Downton Abbey, fourth, Jennifer Lopez Hustlers earning just over $6 million, and coming in fifth place, It, Chapter 2 with just over $5 million. That's Fox on Film.
Has your child swallowed your medicine, your laundry detergent, your nail polish remover? Call the Poison Helpline. Have you inhaled paint thinner, glue, pesticides? Call the Poison Helpline. Have a question about a dose, a fume, something your kid just drank? Call the Poison Helpline. Poisonings can happen at the home, on the job, or in the great outdoors. Call the Poison Helpline first for fast, free advice from medical professionals. Call 1-800-222-1222 anytime, anywhere. 1-800-222-1222. Save the number, save a life. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
Shortness of breath, patients confused, temp 102.
He just had an infection. What's going on?
He's becoming septic.
Antibiotics started. Bed ready, let's move him.
Infections can lead to a deadly chain reaction in your body called sepsis. Very quickly, sepsis can cause tissue damage, organ failure, and even death. If you know the risks, can spot the symptoms, and act fast, then you can get ahead of sepsis. Learn more at cdc.gov/sepsis.